Want to hear some of that techno music?
How you doing, Miss Kate? I appreciate you taking the time to uh, join me on this interview. Let's just want to get to know you a little more. What got you into what led you into coming to join the food bank?
That's a great question, Tristan. So my journey was kind of interesting. I went to culinary school after I graduated from high school and was living in Philly. I started working at a shelter for women and children, and I was cooking some really good meals and kind of chatting with folks about nutrition and gardening and things like that. Working with the mothers to plant some food and talk about how to grow food at home. And so at that point, I realized, aside from just food being my passion, I was also really passionate about nutrition and healthy eating. And so I pursued a degree in nutrition, which led me to Westchester University. So I moved to Chester County and was looking to re-engage in a similar type of work environment as I was in when I was living in Philly. And so one of my professors was like, hey, the Chester County Food Bank is a really great place. You should check it out. And so I came here, and that was 7.5 years ago, and I never left.
So what do you do here at the food bank?
So my job is Director of Food Access and Education. Here at the Chester County Food Bank, we all have really long, lofty job titles, and what does that really mean? So Director of Food Access and Education, we can break that down a little bit. So the food access side of things, working here at the food bank, I'm sure you've seen that we bring in a lot of food. And so I procure all of that food. So I have relationships with local farmers and producers, and I'm purchasing directly from them. I also am in charge of all of the federally funded and state funded food programs. So working with the US government to be able to bring products in through those programs. And then on the education side of things, we acknowledge that providing food assistance is only one piece of the puzzle. Folks also face a lot of other barriers that cause food insecurity and the things that are associated with the health disparities involved with food insecurity. And so we provide educational programs like our Eat Fresh cooking classes. We have our Raised by Garden program, in which we're educating folks about how to grow food at home or to grow food in a community setting, similar to some community gardens that are throughout the county. We also have our Fresh to You mobile market, which operates as a mobile farmers market in which we're doing food demos and educating folks out in the community to cook healthier recipes for their families at home. And we also have various other educational programs that we operate.
That's a lot of stuff. Is there any challenges when it comes to the work that you're in?
I would say the biggest challenge working in food banking is the high need and the level of demand that the community expects and deserves from us, right? So we're here to serve our community, and the needs vary day to day. And at a drop of a hat, things change, and we have to respond to those changes. So something that occurred recently that required us to really pivot was when the extra allotment for SNAP benefits that was allocated during the pandemic was eliminated. And so some neighbors who were relying on those benefits to purchase food for their families saw a drastic decrease. And so the amount of money that they had to be able to purchase groceries might have gone from $250 to $16 for a month, right? That's a lot of money to lose, and money that was being relied on for multiple years. And so as the food bank, we have to respond to those challenges, and we have to do that quickly because we know that our neighbors are relying on us for that level of support to be able to receive groceries for their families when that money no longer is there. So that's the biggest challenge, I would say, is meeting the demand and pivoting when necessary.
All right, I know you said community. Could you elaborate on what specific communities y'all work with?
Sure. So at the Chester County Food Bank, we serve the entire county. And so we have 120 different partner organizations throughout the county who we're providing food and other levels of support to. So there's a map in our warehouse which really depicts how broad our partnership levels are. Many of those partners are schools, churches, health organizations, so it really varies across the board. But in each region of the county, there are champions who believe in the mission of the food bank and supporting folks who are facing food insecurity. And so we have a really wonderful network to be able to best serve community members.
Well, Ms. Katie, I appreciate you for all the work that you're doing, helping the community, and I really appreciate you taking the time out to come to the interview.
Thank you, Tristan. I appreciate your time and everything that you've done to help support our mission here at the food bank.